Hey there, today I want to share with you the best way I know to vectorize images. I'm going to use two different AI programs. I'm also going to use xTool Studio to do all this and see how everything comes out. Now, full disclosure, I made this video once and the audio came out terrible, so I'm redoing it. So if things look like they're going a little bit fast, you'll see in a minute how that happens, but you can see I've done all this already, but I'm going to take you through the steps and show you how I got here and exactly how to modify the images within xTool Studio. You can do this using whatever software you have, but I use xTool Studio. So let's get into it. So you can see the first thing I took was this image. It's a really bad image of an ornament that I saw on Facebook. I liked it, and I thought that's what actually made me decide to do this video, was this ornament. So you don't want to actually steal somebody else's design, but you can use it to make something similar. So you can see my prompt here that I put in. This is Google Gemini. And to get to Google Gemini, just do gemini.google.com, and you'll come in here. It says, and I told it, I said, can you give me a vectorized image similar to this one on this ornament? I'd like you to do it with no background, and please remove the word Alonzo. I'm going to use this image to laser engrave a glass ornament or glass Christmas ornaments of my own. I find the more information you give to AI programs, the better result you get. So here's what I got. You can see it did not remove the word Alonzo. It gave me a background that looks like it's not there, but it was there. And I'll show you how I got rid of that. So I need to move this to my desktop so that I can find it easy. All right, that's on the desktop. So now let's go into xTool Studio. I'm gonna get rid of these because they're not good anymore. Always let it scale down. You can see the background did come in. So the way I do this is click Edit, AI Cutout, and you can see AI, or the xTool Studio thinks I'm not logged in. Whatever, that's no big deal. So I just do this magic wand on the back. See how that does? That actually did a lot better than I thought it was going to. You're going to need to use the, actually no, I will use that in a minute. But the wand, if you come in here, now you can come in and just clean this up some. So get these little pieces out of here. If at any time you erase something too much, you've always got the undo button, so just hit the undo button. Might need to increase the size of this thing a little bit just so I can get in there a little better. We'll see about that one. Hey, it worked. What do you know about that? Sometimes things work well. This happened to be one of them. So I think that's good enough for this. So let's say confirm. Now you can see that the image, this software still thinks this image is like 12.5 inches, but there's a lot of dead space in here. So come back to the crop image option, and I just pull both corners a little bit. You don't have to get all the way. It will do it. You can see it pulled it down. Now what we've got, obviously, my name's not Alonzo. I don't happen to know anybody with the last name Alonzo, so I want to get rid of that. So we just come in with the erase tool and erase Alonzo. Right here, you got to get a little fancy to get that. Let's not erase that. All right, so there we are. Now we've got the image without the word Alonzo. I just put my name in here. So, you know, obviously you can pick whatever font you want. You probably know where fonts are, but it's just up here. You've got lots of fonts within xTool software. See what that looks like. Let's do that one. Lots of fonts within xTool software. So choose the one you like. What I like to do is, because this gives a, I don't use these settings either. You can see I'm showing this on basswood plywood, and I did that because I wanted it I wanted to show you when I come in, I like to actually get this as a vector within xTool Studio if I can. So I come to the offset option, move offset down to 0, confirm, and now you can see we have this image. Set that to engrave. We've got this image that looks pretty good, and it's going to engrave well. It's going to engrave better than the actual image will. So that's how I do that. And then of course you just put whatever name you're looking for over here into it. I like to group things because otherwise I start dragging things around and get everything all messed up. So I would work on that, getting that name, the positioning, but for this you get what I'm doing, and you don't need to watch me do all that. But you can see the difference in the engrave settings that xTool assigned to this. So I got 20% power, 250 millimeter speed on this one that I did the vector on, and then the image is 20 and 180 speed. I change those, especially when I'm doing images. I change that to 30. I don't particularly care for the way xTool does that, or xTool the setting on that anyway. So that's it for that one. Now we can go ahead and run this on an ornament. Obviously I've got let me just give you my ornament settings here if I can find them real quick. I'm gonna get those ornament settings. I'll be right back. Okay, so glass ornament, you can see this is showing my S140 watt. I actually run this on the F1, and my F1 set in the F1, the original, not the Ultra. My F1 settings are blue light, 50 power, 400 speed, and then 300 lines per centimeter. So that's the settings that I use to run glass ornaments. They come out great, and I mean, it works like crazy. So now let's go back. I want to show you what ChatGPT did. I gave it the exact same picture and the exact same prompt, and it came up with this. So this was a little bit unique, and what I did was I took this, well, let me just take the image. Let me just do it. So I need to get this image on my desktop. All right, desktop. Now let's go back in over here. I'm gonna get rid of this. You can see that was my end result. So to do this one, we've got an issue because there's no room to put the family name up here. So what I want to do is I want to edit this image first. So I'll do the AI cutout, and you can see it did add the background like I asked it not to do. Sometimes AI does not listen as well as we would like them to. All right, come on. So I'm just going to finish cleaning this one up real quick. I'm cleaning up the family part 2, even though that's going to wind up being changed out. Oh, good thing for the undo buttons. All right, so good enough for this. And you know, if you're making these things, I would go a little deeper in detail of doing these things, but I'm not that worried about it. I'm just trying to show you the process that I do. All right, so let's grab it again. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna do a screen capture. Didn't take, there it is. Screen capture of the word family here, because I like the layout of that. Now you could wind up erasing that completely. We're going to have, actually we've got to erase that part anyhow. But you could erase it and just choose your own font and replace it. But I kind of like this font and I don't want to replace it. So what I'm going to do is erase it here. All right, got that done. Now I did the screenshot of it, so I need to bring that image in. I'm going to make that bigger. Now I have to, since I did the screenshot, I have to edit this too. And manual, let's see, pretty good. You can see we've got these spots, so you got to get the eraser, erase those will be easy. And then this line here, I like to get this as close as I can, just hit the button right there on it and gives me the cleanest version of this. And now I've got this separated so I can set it anywhere I want. And what I'm going to do is take this down here. So I think I'm going to get rid of that dot. Bring that over like that. Let's see. I think I like that. I'm going to grab, while I'm in here, I'm going to come and grab, well, all right, all I want is the name. Copy. And then, oh, well, we've got to do the offset here on this one as well. Again, go to 0, offset, confirm, and now we will have this image. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I did not group it, which causes problems. So I want to group this. Now it will offset all together. There's always a learning curve everywhere. I still make mistakes all the time, but I think the key to being a good craftsperson or good at this is learning how to fix your mistake. So we got rid of that. Now we've got the engrave file, so I like that. You're going to bring in, I think, yeah, still got my name here. Let's do this. I probably should have tried this before I got rid of the rest of that. So I think that looks good. So now we've got this ornament. Again, let's go ahead and group everything. So this is ready to engrave as well. It will engrave great. Just something that I have found, I got the smaller glass ornaments from Walmart, and they're really not as big as I would like, but you can't, because of the rounded surface, you have to keep it down to, I found 1.6 inches tall works well for me. Everything engraved really well. So that's that. Again, all this is, even though this says S1, it's all being done with the F1 machine. So let's go back over here. The next thing I want to show you is I did these, I'll see if I can't, I don't see a picture of it here on my computer, but I did these decorative little Christmas boxes to put a tea light in, and I wanted the AI to give me some images. So what I did is I told it, here's the exact prompt I used, and I did this one in ChatGPT. I did not use Google Gemini for this. I did it before I was messing with Gemini, so this is the one I got. But I'm making a Christmas box with my laser engraver, and I want to have some Christmas designs that I can cut into the sides so that they show up nice at night with a tea light inside. I need 4 of these designs, maybe also have a little German influence to them. Any ideas? So that's my exact prompt that I used, and it came up with all this stuff. And oh, the reason I went with a German theme is actually because I'm sending this to a friend of mine in Germany. So these are the images that it gave me. I liked those. What I want to do is download it. Okay. And now save this to my desktop because I want to show you a problem that I came across and how I fixed it. So that's on the desktop. Let's go back over. Let's get rid of this stuff. So, pull this in. And I told you, this is going to be multiple different types of images and things. So, I'm going to do a house next. That's just an image that I pulled off the internet. So, what I need to do here, I wanted these separate, and you can see it came in as one file. So, I just went into the crop feature, cropped it down to one image, and then save that. Now we've got this. I can go into the AI cutout, manual cutout. You can see this one worked really well. So get rid of the background. And now you can see it's a good image. The problem is the star doesn't touch. So if I engrave this, the star is just going to be gone. So to get that star in there, I made this a little bit bigger just so I could see it easier. Did a screen capture of the star. Okay, that's over there. And now I have to go back into edit, cutout, a manual erase, and I'm going to erase this star from this image. So I'll get rid of that. All right, so now we have it without the star in it. I need to pull this star, separate star, back in. What happened? There it is. Make this bigger so I can work with it. Have to go back into edit, AI cutout. You want manual, and try and do, you can see this happens a lot of times with this. So you just have to erase that line because your engraver will certainly see it. Let's see, are those? Yeah, a couple of spots there. A couple of spots there. I think that's pretty clean. My next issue, though, came to when I placed this in. I didn't want the star just hanging from this one, whatever you call the pointy end of the star. But when I came up to where the three pieces were touching, you can see the top of the star shows up or comes above. And I did not want that showing, so I just went back into edit, cut out, and I erased the top of the star. Get that down. Confirm. Okay, now we've got a single piece. I like the positioning of that. And then what we have to do, again, grab it, group it, and then do the offset feature again at 0% offset. Confirm. And now we have the image that will cut, and it's going to, it looks like I needed a little more. I've got a dot up there. Again, I would go into greater detail when I'm actually making this stuff, but I'm just showing you how I do this and how I put it together. But you can see now the star is touching, and that engraved, actually it cut very well. So now let me show you the house that I did. So I just went into realtor.com and grabbed the first house. I don't have any idea whose house this was or anything else. I'm in, so you can see this is the picture, the original picture of the house, and I pulled it into Gemini just like I did the other stuff. And then I asked it, can you give me a vectorized version of this image that I can laser engrave on wood? This is the image that it gave me. I wasn't a big fan of this because it got rid of a lot of detail. The tree, the bushes, you could use it, and I think somebody's going to be happy with it. But I went into ChatGPT, and I, again, just copied and pasted this exact prompt. So I told it, pulled the same picture in, can you give me a vectorized version? And I thought this one was much, much better. I really liked this. The other thing you can do, though, I don't have that image on the computer anymore, so let me do this. I'm going to pull, because I want to show you how this works. I'm just going to screenshot that image, and I'm going to come back over to xTool Studio. You can see I pulled this one in. I'll get rid of that for now. I pulled this one in. That one looks great. You know, that's going to engrave extremely well. I think people are going to love that. And if you don't know, the reason I chose a house is because I deal with a lot of realtors, not a lot of realtors, but I do deal with realtors. I give them, or I make housewarming gifts for them. They like these. I personalize them, so it's something that they really can't get anywhere else. So it's a pretty unique item. So something else that I've been doing with xTool Studio and these houses, and I'll just tell you what I do. I run a set of coasters with the house on it, and I run a puzzle with a picture of the house on it. And of course, it's got the address and the people's names. So everything's really personalized. And the people really like it. But let me get into I want you to notice too, the driveway needed a little bit of pressure washing. But you can go to Edit and Adjustments in here and click Auto Adjust. And you can see this comes out really good. And I typically do this. I typically get the sky and everything. This is my normal process for doing these images, but this driveway just looked absolutely awful when I did it. So I would wind up using this image for sure over this one. The other way you could do this is with the program. You know, I didn't do this on the last video, so this is probably good. So the Imag-r program, if you don't know it, Imag-r, they're running a deal right now. Imagine that, Black Friday. So pull the house into it. It will upload, and you can come down here and you see, for some reason, you have to crop or resize because it won't let you, boy, they're serious about that. It won't let you do anything else until you do, or I found that it wouldn't. Well, come on. Let's just see if it'll do it. Okay, and now you can come to material. I do this on wood, so I just choose wood. Boy, they are really serious about their Black Friday deal. Wood, okay. And now we have this image, which probably is the best of all of them. Doggone. And click download. I typically choose the JPEG. Like I say, I don't get crazy with this thing, and you know, there are all kinds of other things you can do over here, but I just really haven't used that. I haven't found the need. So what I want to do now, this is that image. Let's get it on the desktop so I can pull it in to xTool Studio and see how we did. I'm going to get rid of that image because I would not use that. So here we go. You can see it took the sky out as well. That is, I don't know. I don't know which one of those I'd use. They both look great. Let's get this one a little bigger so we can kind of see them side by side. And this one has more detail to it than this one does, but this one would probably engrave a little better. Honestly, I'd probably use this one just because it looks more realistic than this one. So but either way, you've got a vectorized image of this home that you can engrave on wood. You could do it on any material, I suppose, but these were set for wood. So that's it. If you've got any questions, please ask them in the comments below. I'm happy to answer anything I can and about this or any other questions about the lasers that I might be able to ask. And also, if you know anybody this video might help, I'd love it if you'd share it with them. Give me a thumbs up if you'd like. I'd really appreciate that. And if you really liked it, please subscribe to my channel. I'll talk to you soon. Again, this is how I vectorize every image that I do. And I'm working on some other images of people. Oh, that's something I wanted to share too, that if you put a person's, some device in my house talking to me. If you put a person's face into these programs and trying to get it to do something, it will not give you an identical version, and somehow that's against, I guess they don't want you going out and, you know, getting identical pictures of people in compromising positions. So it won't give you an identical, like if I put my face in there, it wouldn't come out looking exactly like my face. There would be some oddities to it. But what you can do is tell it to give you a caricature or something like that. And that's obviously not the real person's picture. So it will do that. And I did some Halloween ornaments for some kids down the street with that. And that was kind of fun. I don't have pictures of those or I'd show you. They were fun. But anyway, I got those to their parents and they seemed to like them they put up a Halloween tree. But that's it. That's using, like I said, I used Google Gemini, ChatGPT, xTool Studio, and then I did wind up using the Imag-r software. So all three of those softwares, I'll link to them. There's no kind of affiliate links or anything. Obviously, all of those softwares are free to use. I do pay for ChatGPT, but I think you can still use it for, I don't know, 3 images or something. So you could do that without paying. Anyway, hope you liked the video. I'll see you next time. And in the meantime, happy engraving. See ya.